Hi everyone, this is Karen Hightower, design team member over at Stamp TV for Gina K Designs. Today I have this really cute card project that I'd like to show you, and there's several techniques we'll be doing. We have the rock and roll, watercolor, direct to stamp, a dry embossed acetate that's inked up, and a sponging. So let me show you all the items I used and we'll get started on it. I have the red rubber stamp set, Fishing You the Best by Gina K Designs. I'll be using the fish, the greeting, and the little seagrass on it. I will also be using the Gina K Designs Pure Luxury cardstock in the white layering weight. This one is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. It will go on the inside of the card. I also have a piece for scrap to stamp the fish and the seagrass on. I like using this when I can for fussy cutting because it is thinner and easier to cut out. I also have a piece of blue Lagoon that is cut at 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. Then for the acetate embossing part, I have this embossing folder. It's called Snowfall from Tailored Expressions. It's Snowfall, but when I saw it, I also thought about turning it upside down, and to me it looks like bubbles rising from the depths of the ocean. So that is how I'm using it today. I also have a piece of the Holtz Distress watercolor paper. There's a rough side and a smooth side, so today we'll be doing the smooth side. A Lawn Fawn die cut tag that I will sponge on and do the greeting on it in a little while. 3D foam squares. We have the Zig Clean Color Real Brush markers. I have them in number 31, 32, 36, and 42 for the water. Then there's 50, 52, and 70 for the fish, and then black, number 10 for the eye. And a watercolor brush, a water brush, I'm sorry. And this is the acetate. Gina will be carrying it over at Gina K Designs. So this is a heat resistant acetate. You can emboss it like I have done today and ink it up, or you can heat emboss it with the embossing powder, which is really nice. I'm going to start with the background first because it takes a little while to dry and I want it to be good and dry when we're done. If you want it really dark, you can cover more because then it will make it darker. Okay. Then let's go to, this is the medium one. Then the light one. I don't want it to look like a sky, so we'll just put this in randomly. Give our ocean some turquoise color here. Squeeze it a little bit, get some water. There it goes. I'll turn it around. See how the colors blend? Really nice. And you can go back over it several times if you want. If you find an area that doesn't have enough color or you feel like it needs more color, you can let it dry just for just a few seconds and then take your marker and go back over it to give it some more color. Now, I don't want to leave fingerprints, so I'm going to take one of my markers and I'm going to hold it down a little bit. I think I want a little more color at the top. So what I'm going to do is grab the lighter one, turn it back around, hold it down, and then I'm just going to add some of this. And I'm not going to blend this out because it's a light color, so I won't add any more water. And with the paper being wet, it don't need any more water. It's blending out on its own really well. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do with that. Bend it back a little bit, let it dry, and then it'll be ready to put on our card. So we're going to take the oranges and the black for his eye, and we have orange, a dark, medium, and a yellow. So I'm going to start with the dark. I'm going to do his tail, and I'm going to do this real quick. No rhyme or reason. You can make your fish however you want it, but this would be really great to do for, think about it, you can use it for trees, flowers, all kinds of fun stuff, and they'll be so pretty. No two are alike. That's what makes this so fun. And then you take your mister and lightly hold it above and lightly mist. Hopefully that wasn't too much. That was more than a light mist. There we go. And they turn out really cute. And like I said, no two are the same. So you can play with it. You can say you want his nose dark. I forgot his eye. I'm real bad at forgetting the eyeball on this little guy. For some reason, I insist on forgetting his eye. So I'm going to do the ink, the darker color on his fin, kind of around his body, on the edges. I always like doing them different to see what I can get when I stamp it. And if I touch another color, say like with this light one, I know I'm going to hit this darker orange, and I don't want to contaminate my marker. I don't know that it will, but I feel like it will, so I always wipe off a little bit. I don't want to carry that extra color. Okay, so let's lightly mist. Oh, let's do his eye. I remembered this time. And it's real easy to go back and color in that eye, so you don't have to worry. You can even put like a little black bling or enamel dot or something there. Okay, hold it up, way up high, and then mist, and then stamp. Oh, see how cute he turns out? Okay, well, I have 3 already cut out for this card, so I'm not going to do any more of those. But let's do the rock and roll technique real quick while I have this paper out. We'll be using the fresh asparagus and the jelly bean green. We'll start with the lighter of the two. And to rock and roll, I know most of you probably know this, but if you're new and you don't, you're going to ink up in your lighter color, and then you're going to roll your stamp around so it catches like the edges of your stamp. I hold it up so I can see, especially on the little ones, where I'm getting the ink. And you can kind of see where the darker ink is. Let's stamp it and see. See? You see the darker area? So let's do it again. We'll stamp in the light and then roll it on the edges in the darker color, and then stamp. I'm just going to go lightly around the edges. With the greeting in black ink, I could do this pretty heavy and it would be fine. But I'm going to just do it semi-light, and then somewhere up here we'll be scoring it. So I'm just going to do a little bit up there. Okay. So now I can pop it out of the die, and see I have a nice little border around the edge there. Let's get the greeting stamped. Fishing you the best. There we go. And I'm going to take the little score buddy, and it just depends on how far down you want this. If you want it way down, then you will score it up here, so that'll tuck under. If you want it up high, then you score it up here, so the other part will tuck under. So I'm going to let it hang down about right there. And then when I fold it, it'll be like so. Okay, we will be using the white Staz-On. I find I get less on the background if I kind of hold it flat and very, very, very lightly, drag across. And then I don't get as much on the background. Let me do the inside real quick. We're going to tape this down. So now we're going to do, I think we'll do rock and roll technique on the inside of this card as well. I'm going to do 3 of these. Then real fast I am going to, let's do this real quick. Okay, we're going to put this up here. I think that'll just be so cute on the inside of the card. We'll go ahead and stamp the back of the card so it'll be finished off when we are finished. Anytime I do acetate, I always think about adding a tag or putting an image on it that I can put a pop dot under it, or even if you tape an image on it, you can also flip it up and put tape on the back and hold it down. Tape the inside. There you go. So now it's like kind of like a book. So what I'm going to do, and you have to make sure his little eye will show through the bubbles. If you put him behind a bubble, his eye won't show. So you have to make sure that his little eye will show. So the best way to do that is put you some tape on the back of the fish, because he's going to stick to the watercolor background. But hold him up to the acetate and decide where you want him so his little eye will show. I want him right there. Okay, and so I will close it and press them down, and then we'll take these. We're going to stamp this little seagrass again, but I'm using it just the fresh asparagus because it's the darker of the two. Now you could stamp all the way across if you want. You can stamp higher, lower, more. So I'm going to put one there, and I'll put one up here. So to kind of give you some more seagrass in there. That's up to you. However much you want. And I'm going to pop this little light green one up right there. And then the little fish, here. And maybe this one down low. Let's add it to the base. And then put you a couple foam squares on the back of your fish. And there's the finished card project. I hope you enjoyed this card project today. It's a lot of fun to create and do all the different techniques on. I hope you will subscribe to my channel and come visit us over at Stamp TV. We'd love to have you over there. There's lots of challenges and fun things going on. See you there. Have a great day. Bye-bye.